Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Um, okay, let me make sure that. Okay, I think the microphone is okay. I still have that issue with it going through my phone. Um, there's a update for the iOS, so hopefully when I do that, it will fix it. I wonder if a lot of other users have had the same issue where all of a sudden it's going through the phone. That is like the darndest thing that no one ever asked for. So I am going to just trust that it's not doing that right now. Could you imagine that? Using the microphone in your cell phone, your mobile phone, using that microphone instead of the microphone either built into the computer or plugged into the computer. Weird, weird, useless, unnecessary thing. So, Helen Marmon, thank you so much for being here first. Um, Connie Balmer, hey Connie Balmer, Wise Words, Jetstar, Vanessa Jones, Kim Peaches, Shirley Holland. Okay, all right, let's get on with it, shall we? I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. So, our Duchess seems to have shared something with us. And it says here, from as ever, last night I was nibbling the remnants of our Christmas Eve feast, dim sum this year, wrapping a few last minute gifts and tiptoeing down the stairs with my husband to make sure Santa had enjoyed his cookies and the reindeer had eaten their carrots. Anything to maintain the morning magic of Christmas through our children's eyes. I plan to spend today cuddled up with my family, maybe pajamas all day, some Scrabble or sequence, or Candyland for the kids. Music playing, candles flickering, dogs snoring, endless grazing, the laughter, the sidebars, um, the deep breaths, you know, the ones, the fun, and the memories. I hope that whether you're cozied up in your pajamas like we are, or dressed to the nines, whether you're with a huge gathering with your partner or kids, or on your own, whatever you happen to find yourself today, reading this note, that you know I am wishing you a very Merry Christmas and all the blessings that comes with it. From my family to yours, happy holidays. Happy holidays. May the merry bells keep ringing. May your every wish come true. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. May the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holidays to you. Okay, good night, everybody. I'll see y'all. I'm just kidding. But yeah, signed as ever, Megan. So that was a very sweet message for the Sussex squad and for the rest of the people out there. I mean, there's two kind of people in this world. Either you're a squatty or you're not. I say, well, we're few in numbers, but wow, do we have a loud voice. Okay. So, all I want for Christmas is a republic. Hopefully, William won't be king. Wow, they don't ask for much, do they? Hopefully, William won't be king. Well, I wonder what this guy's beef is. In brief, the news agent discussed Prince William's potential reign as king. Yeah, they are discussing his potential reign as king. As king, how he may change the way the monarchy works in the future. John Sopel believes King William would slim down the monarchy and leave the future of royal estates uncertain. Lewis Goodall says he would like to abolish the monarchy and says he hopes this happens before William takes the throne. What's the story? 2.5 years of King Charles and his reign has been tumultuous one. The former Prince of Wales has endured health problems and stripping of brother Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's titles over his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and the lies told to try to hide it. The news agent believes King Charles stripping Andrew of his royal titles and sending to live in a luxurious exile on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk was clearing the deck for the time the Prince Will. I'm sorry, time. One more time. Clearing the deck for the time Prince William becomes king, but is that likely to be sooner or later, or even at all? Now that sounds ominous. Will there ever be a King William the Terrible? What happened with Andrew in the last 2 months was precisely to enable the sort of regrowth of the royal family in a totally different direction, says Emily Mathis. I think that's what was at the front of the king's mind. He wanted to do this so that his son wouldn't have to deal with it when he becomes king. And I think there probably will be a King William the Fifth. Would King William change the royal family or continue age old traditions? The future of the royal family has been the subject of discussion for many years, despite the money it brings in to the UK, especially, specifically, that is, London. Through tourism, many have questioned the optics of the gold gilded palace in the heart of the capital, while an increasing number of people queue for food banks. You know what, though? Um, I'm not going to let that slip by. We've already had that discussion about the royals bringing in tourism, and there's just no proof or evidence of that whatsoever. The idea that the royals bring in tourism, that is pretty far fetched, and it has even been proven, thanks to some very reliable studies, that it's just not true. Now, John Sopel believes under King William, who would mark a substantially young monarch for most people alive today, have ever experienced, we may see a slightly different royal family emerge. Says here, the royal family with William as king would change quite substantially, John says. There would still be a royal family, but I think a lot of the flummery would go. I think it would become more Scandinavian and more slimmed down as a monarchy. I tell you, if I never hear the term slim down monarchy again, it'll be too soon. He says the future of the Duchy of Lancaster and Cornwall would be very uncertain under a potential King William. These huge parts of England are worth hundreds of millions and were acquired by the royal family through a mix of marriage, inheritance, gifts, and purchases in more recent years. Lewis Goodall does not share John's optimism. I'm not sure whether I buy the idea that Prince and Princess of Wales are terribly modern, he says. When they went on one of their African tours, the Prince and Princess of Wales were carried around by locals. I believe that was a trip to Polynesia or something like that, but I don't think that was in Africa. But still, we know what they're talking about, those pictures of them being carried around, um, looking just like a couple of colonizers. Um, Moving beyond King William's likely reign, Louis is also concerned about the future of 12-year-old Prince George. Yeah, let's talk about that. I hope the lad gets away from the gilded prison sentence. To be perfectly honest, Lewis says, I think it'll be absolutely appalling for him, like it has been for the rest of them. With a bit of luck, hopefully William won't be king. All I want for next Christmas is a republic. What does the future hold? Despite some difficult PR and deeply unpleasant scandals for the monarchy, John believes they will remain as the UK's head of state for some time yet. The royal family always does just enough to survive and to maintain public support, John says. Among a younger generation, they look at the royal family and ask, what is about? When I was a lad, that wasn't done. It was just accepted that that was the way of it. In an older white generation, there's still enormous support for the royal family. So, anyway, that is whatever that show is. But yeah, interesting. All right, let me see who's here. Again, Petty Willie is already showing people what he's going to do when he becomes king, and it's going to be 10 times worse. Yeah, in all likelihood. Hey, Angela M. Charles 2.0. Yeah, I mean, well, the one thing that I'm sure of is that William does not favor the costumes. William does not like dressing up with all those plumages and, the plumes and all of the trinkets and such. William is not a big fan of that. You cannot get this guy to wear a kilt to save his life. There's a lot of the trappings of the royal uniforms and customary outfits and such that he's not very excited about. Charles, however, I think the lowest moment, hey, Big Mama, I think the lowest moment that I have ever felt for Charles in recent memory, at least should I say as king, his worst moment as king, is something that I'm sure a lot of people did not even pay attention to. But when he went over to France for BJ Day or whatever it was, dressed in that field marshal's uniform, that was when I really had a new sense of of a lost respect for him. I really lost that much more respect for him. He looked absolutely ridiculous. And then carrying that baton around, wearing a field marshal's uniform, it was just the height of tacky. The height of tacky. Now, mind you, I live in a representatory republic where we have a civilian commander in chief, right? even the one that's in there now, technically, is a civilian commander in chief. So uniforms is not part of the presidential wardrobe. Now, I know, of course, Charles is not a president, he's a king, but still, that field marshal uniform, I can't do it with this guy. I just cannot. I thought that was just so tacky, as if he's ever commanded um, anybody in battle. I'm sorry that it looked ridiculous. And if um, if I was to say anything that I could respect about William, if he gives up that stupid wardrobe, I would have a little respect for him just for that. But still, I think he's a terrible person. I think he is in some type of crisis mentally, um, and that he's all around a jerk. He's an absolute jerk. But yeah, I am offended as the son of a um, veteran. I am offended by Charles wearing the uniform. My father fought in the Second World War, and I just find it disrespectful. Okay, so moving on. People are obsessed with Anthony Joshua right now. What the what? What is going on with this Anthony Joshua? Why are people obsessed with this guy? Um, well, that's actually a dumb question, isn't it? I mean, look at him. That is a dumb question. Look at him. That's why they're obsessed. Okay, at least it starts there. But otherwise, he has a very um, easy manner about himself. And I think people find that uh, charming and quite disarming. You know what I'm saying? Um, oh, you know what? I am missing something that I need. Uh oh. What did I do with it? Okay. Give me just a second. Just in case I need to do a sound bite. Um, okay, that's weird. I mean, really, there's nobody here but me right now, so why would I move that and hide it from myself? Ha! There it is. I got it. Okay. Now, about Anthony Joshua. Uh oh, one more thing. Okay, I think I'm set. Huh, okay. Yes, I think Charlotte is destined to be queen. I do believe Charlotte is destined to be queen. Don't ask me why. I just, I have that feeling that somehow people are going to just understand. Um, I think William is just going to mess things up so bad that people are going to be like, you know what? It should be Charlotte. I mean, come on. The royal family breaks the rules all the time. They make it up as they go along. So there are moments when the internet collectively discovers something in somehow it somehow missed. That is, this week that something was Anthony Joshua. Following his brutal win over Jake Paul on Netflix, Joshua's presence detonated across American social media. Timelines filled with disbelief, admiration, and thirst. Many viewers admitted they had never watched a boxing match before. That changed fast. According to Social Blade data, Joshua gained more than 1.5 million new followers in under 2 weeks following the Netflix fight. However, boxing did not recruit a new audience. Anthony Joshua did. You got that? It wasn't boxing that gained all these new followers. It was Anthony Joshua. This is Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua stands 6'6", built like a statue carved with intent. The London born heavyweight, whose parents are Nigerian and who has spoken openly about his Yoruba roots, moves with calm control uh, even under pressure. In the ring, he looks composed. Outside of it, he looks comfortable in his skin. That combination matters. He already held an Olympic gold and world titles before Netflix came calling. In the UK, packed arenas of screaming fans are not new. What is new is the scale. The platform shifted him from national star to global fixation almost overnight. Well, well, well. um, Says here, people who did not care about boxing suddenly care. Social media told the story in real time. Posts began with confusion and ended in obsession. Many users admitted they clicked out of boredom. They stayed because Joshua's commanded the screen. Some asked why no one warned them. Others wondered how a heavyweight champion had stayed off their radar. The common thread was surprise. Boxing felt secondary. Presence took over. Take a look there. You can see some of these comments. Okay, that's kind of small, but I'll do my best. Let me see. Me next. uh, Let me see. He can. What is that? Finney. Never mind. Okay. And this is all in response to finish him. Let me see. This other person says, finish me. Did the 90s find men go overseas to procreate or something? Because what is in, well, let me see, because what is in, they fish, what is in the fish and chips? Okay, because what is in the, it should be the fish and chips, I think. Let me see. Uh-oh. What did I just do here? Uh, I'll throw some red beans on a toast right now. Wait a minute. I'll throw some red beans on a toast right the F now. Okay. These people are unhinged. Okay. Hadn't realized just how drop dead gorgeous Anthony Joshua is. Let me see. Even if you don't watch boxing, you should know Anthony Joshua simply because he's fine as F. Okay. Ah, man, these are some interesting comments. All right. Social media told the story in real time. Posts began with confusion and ended in obsession. Many users admitted they clicked, oh, I did that already, didn't I? Sorry about that. All right, let me go over here. Okay, so they say there are moments when the internet collectively discovers something it somehow missed. This week, that something was Anthony Joshua. Following his brutal win over Jake Paul on Netflix, Joshua's presence detonated across America's social media, timelines filled with disbelief, admiration, and thirst. Oh, didn't I do that already? Oh, I'm at the wrong place. There we go. Everyone thinks he is extremely fine. Language became playful and exaggerated. People called him a meal, not a snack, a meal. Others fixated on his size, his shoulders, the way he carries weight with ease. The appeal crossed race, age, and geography. The tone stayed communal. This was not a niche thirst, it felt like a shared awakening, posted and reposted until the point was beyond debate. Hmm. Hey, Legs, Shelly L. The Netflix fight changed everything. The Jake Paul bout drew roughly 33 million viewers. Numbers like that reshape careers. Joshua did not simply win, he dominated, and he did so on the largest streaming stage available. Netflix clipped the knockout, branded it, and pushed it everywhere. The same images circulated again and again, each time reframed by a new voice, visibly fed desire fed reach. Many posts carried the same revelation. He is British Nigerian. That discovery sparked jokes and admiration in equal measure. Some referenced fish and chips, others asked what the UK had been hiding. British fans watched with amusement. They had seen this before. The difference lay in scale. The American audience arrived all at once, loud and enthusiastic, ready to claim him as their latest fixation. Wow, wow. Um, Let me see here. Oh, you guys may have seen the notorious JTB when he spoke about Anthony Joshua. I thought I was going to have to turn the water hose on him. And of course, over on the left, my girl Megan always knew when it comes to Anthony Joshua. Of course, with the green outfit, that was just before the pandemic. Just at that point, the Sussexes finished their last engagement with the royal family. Yeah. So let me see here. I want to. Do I want to share that? Nah, I was gonna play the notorious JTB, but I'm pretty sure all of you all heard that one already. But yeah, he went on and on about his surprise that he had never seen Anthony Joshua before. I remember him, of course, from the Westminster Abbey, and I think I've saw him like a couple of other places besides that, and of course his connection to Harry. I think he and Harry did a radio something or other. So, but yeah, let's see. Compton Caligal says social media wants Anthony to date Kayla Nicole, Taylor Swift's ex fiance. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, fiance's ex. What am I saying? Fiance's ex. Okay. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Talk about sexy chocolate. That's right. The 2020 Commonwealth celebration. And yes, as you can see in the picture right there, he was in the receiving line. Okay. Oh, it says here Joshua triggered a similar response in 2017 when a little fight pushed him into viral culture and drew in people who had never followed boxing. Ah, I didn't know that. Let's see, his cultural presence extends beyond sport. In 2020, he was photographed in a animated conversation with Meghan Sussex at the Commonwealth Day service at the Westminster Abbey, a moment that resurfaced online with renewed interest. Joshua also shared a long standing connection with Prince Harry. In 2019, Joshua worked with Prince Harry to support the Made by Sports initiative, which aimed to raise £40 million for charities expanding access to sports in underserved UK communities. Those ties reflect how Joshua has long moved comfortably across sport, culture, and public life well before his latest surge in attention. Well, I hope he's got some good branding deals, you know? I hope he's earning some good endorsement money and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm sure he is, but, you know, I hope that it's been phenomenal for him. Huh. Okay. Well, everyone is obsessed. According to this, the world is quite obsessed with Anthony Joshua. I mean, I've seen him before, so it's like, yeah, I've seen him. Let's see. Oh, and of course, this article was from Feminagra. 6'6" British heavyweight at once driving a huge female led follower surge. His dominance, calm presence, and pop culture reach have made him boxing's most talked about name. Huh. Okay. So there you have it. You know, I bet you a station wagon full of nuns, you could pick any nun out of the station wagon, and I think they could beat Jake Paul. Jake Paul, I don't know what his fighting skills are. I mean, I'm sure he's had his practice and everything, but um, yeah, that guy is weird to me. Wasn't he like a content creator years ago or something like that? Anyway, cheers to Anthony Joshua. Now, let's move on to another spot of information here. This one. Why can King Charles with cancer do more work than Kate Middleton in her prime? That's a good question. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on it. Kate is lazy. That's it. She's lazy. Next, King Charles led royal workload as William and Kate sit at the bottom. Um, Again, lazy. That is the only explanation that makes sense. It is the usual laziness. Um, this chart is my new favorite thing. Kate Middleton. Oh, 68 engagement. You know what? I thought it was 43. I thought it was 43. She must have just picked up a few. in the last few days. I swear I thought it was 43 the other day. Even with that, that is far too few. Yeah, that's disgusting. Anyway, there you go. Oh, that was 2023. Wow, she's doing almost half of what she did in 2023. And that is the queen consort, not the queen, but the queen consort. So Princess Anne was the leader of the pack until she wasn't. Eventually, Charles became the leader of the pack. Let's see how royal engagements are measured. The court circulars list every official engagement undertaken on behalf of the crown. These include charity visits, meetings, receptions, ceremonial appearances, and state events. They exclude preparation, private meetings, and personal time. The metric is narrow, but it is consistent. That is true. Kate consistently does very little work. Okay, the palace says most of these engagements last about an hour. Some run longer, many are brief. The court does not measure effort, depth, or difficulty. It records attendance. That makes it a simple matrix, that is, metrics, um, but a consistent one. Every working royal is measured the same way. When viewed on this basis, the comparison is straightforward. More engagements mean more public work, fewer engagements mean less. Okay, that makes sense to me. Let's see. Remember how before the Oprah interview that the British media tried to blame Harry and Meghan for leaving because Will and Kate expected them to do the work while Will and Kate raised their family. Oh, wait, here we go. Thank you for the super chat, Legs. Yeah, they, as I remember when Oprah said, well, what if you don't want to go? He said, you just go. He said, you your clothes are laid out, and this is for those royal engagements and stuff. A car arrives to pick you up. There's no not going. You just go. At least in his case. William, on the other hand, he just didn't go. He just refused to go. It's a long list of places that William was supposed to go, even while Queen Elizabeth was alive. And he just chose to uh, avoid it. And nothing was said of it. Okay, I won't say nothing because the papers, they definitely went after him and Kate by calling them lazy, but it did not seem to sway them either direction. They just did not care. And I don't believe they care any more now than they did then. Remember my theory. My theory is William probably believes that once he becomes king, he's going to really tuck in and do more work. And until such time, he's going to do less because he knows that when he becomes king, he won't have time to do less. And then once he becomes king, I believe he'll go right back to doing the very least amount of work. Lex says, It says a lot that those two grifters thought that Harry and Meghan should do all the work and not have a family themselves. Yet they briefed, leaked, and bullied Harry and Meghan. Here, here. Thank you, Legs. That whole thing of William, don't rush into anything. William wanted Harry essentially to wait 10 years before starting a family. To me, excuse my voice, to me, that always meant we do not want you to have a family. We do not expect you to have a family. Um, we just need you to do the work, right? We need you to show up places where we prefer to not venture. And we all do know that Will and Kate has not done an overseas tour since the Caribbean. They have not gone on tour together since the Caribbean. And Kate has only left the United Kingdom one time in her life in, uh, as a royal tour. She's gone on one royal tour by herself one time in life, and that was to Denmark. And they are still trying to figure out, what did she want? Why was she here? What was the point of it? Why did we have to take children out of school or whatever? Can you say grifter? That is quite a grift. Thanks again, Legs. And Connie Bomber, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being a moderator and watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Hi, Antoinette Kennedy. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. Did I say hello already? What difference does it make? Long as we're together, that's the point. Mm. Why illness does not explain the disparity. Kate's cancer diagnosis and treatment in 2024 and 2025 are frequently cited to explain her reduced schedule. The context is is relevant, that is, but it is not sufficient. The same imbalance appears in years when illness was not a factor. In 2023, before her diagnosis, Kate completed fewer engagements than the Duke of Gloucester. She also fell behind Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. William matched the Duke of Gloucester that year, despite being decades younger and positioned as the future monarch. The pattern continued in 2024 when public diaries showed extended absences followed by carefully managed returns, while older royals maintained full schedules across 3 consecutive years. The same names carried the bulk of the public duties. The Waleses did not. Health can explain the interruption. It does not explain the consistency. Okay. What can I say? They have gotten away with it. And Rebecca English has been a real instrument um, in their laziness because she helps to articulate excuses for them, especially for Kate. Especially for Kate. I saved quite a few of those headlines, which of course I use as a reference to go and search for the articles, which in all likelihood are still there. And Rebecca English has a knack for shaping and articulating the message. not just for Kate, but for William as well. And it's a coordinated um, effort between Kensington Palace and the Royal Rota, in particular, Rebecca English. It is all orchestrated. Really, there are no surprises. Okay. Yes, we may as well go with the final thought. Okay, according to Feminagra, the term working royal underpins the case for public funding and deference. That case weakens when the monarch doing the most work is not only undergoing cancer treatment, but is also among the oldest on the list. In 2025, the average age of the core working royals stood at roughly 69. That was the average age, 69, with several in their late 70s, 80s, and 90s continuing to carry out the bulk of the public duties. Court circular shows a monarchy sustained by its oldest members, while its future leadership contributes comparatively little. If Prince William and Kate Middleton are meant to represent renewal, the evidence points elsewhere. Their engagement records many I'm sorry, consistency. One more time, remains consistently low across healthy years and recovery years alike. Kate has yet to undertake an official visit to an African Commonwealth nation in her royal role. Wow, I did not realize that Kate has not taken an official trip to Africa at all. A notable absence given the Crown's stated priorities. Wow. Institutions survived on continuity of effort. When duty concentrates upward by age rather than forward by succession, the structure becomes fragile. One present form at the model appears tied to King Charles III and risk fading with him. The numbers do not speculate, they document. Wow. Well, there you go. So, um, I guess you can say Kitty and Willie have not gone unnoticed, but they will probably go unpunished. I think that they will um, coordinate with the Royal Rota, especially with Rebecca English. And Rebecca sets the pace for the whole of the Royal Rota. Essentially, I'm trying to say they'll probably get away with it. There will be no public mocking or anything of the sort. They have gotten away with it thus far. And using this comparison of, I guess, Harry and Meghan versus Will and Kate, using that comparison, they probably are going to get a lot of mileage out of that. I pray that they don't. I do hope the sky falls on them at some point, figuratively speaking, and that they are totally admonished by the public for their laziness. But yeah, it's incredible to see some of the mental gymnastics that are deployed to try to make sense out of their laziness. Insulting, if you ask me. Okay, where are we going here? Now, what do you notice? You notice a red circle. I want to believe that that is nothing new. Some people say that it was not a thing before December of 2023. Some people believe that that first appeared um, after, December of 2023. So let's say somewhere along the line in 2024, the first time they had a confirmed public sighting of Catherine, that suddenly that appeared, right? And some people are speculating that that may have been, say, an injury, and that it took months of you know healing to get to that point. Um, that's a very serious thing, because it would imply that something terrible has happened, and that it has been a big cover up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be so quick to condemn anyone, because it was said, or I read somewhere, that there was a surgery in her youth, and it was, you know, I don't know if it was because of an injury or what. And the same with William. We all know that he took a 9 iron. Somebody tried to wrap a golf club around his head, and he also has a scar, but his is higher up on his forehead. So it's just a big coincidence, I suppose. But that does look different from the way it appeared in the past. So I'm not sure what to think. I'm not sure. If it is something, um, you know, if it is something terrible behind that, it would explain, it helps to fill in the pieces. That's what I believe, is that it would definitely help to fill in the pieces. So I guess we won't know unless she writes a book or something like that, or unless, someone who knows actually shares their theory with us, or their opinion. Because she's always had that wonky eyebrow, right? She's always had that very wonky looking eyebrow, which is why I'm willing to accept that maybe it's a bit different from the way it appeared before. I don't know. I don't know. I'm choosing my words carefully. I think Mumbles had a facelift too after. Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, let me see. Okay, it wasn't there before. Was okay. Let me see here. Oh, really? Uh, okay. Well, that's I guess that's kind of new to me. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. This Kim Peaches. Oh man, haven't ever seen this scar before. It is just disingenuous that they keep covering it up. K is trapped. W circled the wagons to make sure no one would believe her. They bought her back in the firm. Well, and let's not forget, um, the parents that need um, they need whatever support that they can get from the um, the Duchy of Cornwall, from William. Didn't someone say that William helped to procure the Buckleberry home? That William helped in some kind of way financially for them to, the parents that is, for Mike and Carol to buy that home? It would only make sense that the closer Kate gets to the throne, the more there will be um, people coming out of the woodworks looking for favors or whatever, or trying to be in close proximity to um, William, the, you know, because when he's king, everything about the government will be in his name, his church, his military, his this, his that. Um, hmm, I don't know, Lex. I don't know. I want to say I saw something there before, but this looks worse than what I recall. Yes, and of course that one article where they were trying to, well, wasn't it something about them um, trying to blame Harry in some kind of, I don't know. I'd have to go to my archives and look around and see what I got. Yeah, she only shows herself about 5 times a year. And you know what? You know what? I watched this video. I'm trying to find a proper way to couch this. I think that the absence of the, of her, the Princess of Wales, when she comes back after these extended absences, do you notice how tight everything is? And I'm being serious. Do you notice how tight her face is? As though what? You know what I'm trying to say without saying it. But her skin looks very tight. Um, yeah, it looks like there's been some adjustments made. You know what I'm saying? Either that or maybe she gained some weight. You know, if you gain some weight after you've been so slender, the first place it goes, it shows in your face. So, yeah, I'm trying to choose my words carefully, but she looks pleasant there. Is that okay to say? She looks pleasant. She also looks like she's wearing a wig. But yeah, yeah, she looks a little different. She's not her typical, out shopping on the high street type of thing. This looks like lots of preparation, either below the surface or above the surface. It looks like a lot of preparation to me. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying and trying not to say at the same time. Woo! Okay. Oh no, I don't remember that. Wow. Now, see, I must have missed a whole lot of stuff. Mm, when her and Megan both had a bustling, okay, flat as a pan. All right, I'm gonna have to try to make those comparisons. But of course, lurking behind the scenes and looking very displeased that he is forced to be there is Willie. He cannot hide the look on his face. He just cannot hide it. He is not happy to be there. You know, maybe he really wants to be with his other family, perhaps something like that. Okay, you guys, check it out. The Royal Charm Offensive. The Royal Charm Offensive. They are reportedly, possibly coming to America. It says here, wait, where is it? The King and the Prince of Wales are highly likely to travel to the U.S. next year on a separate trips as part of a charm offensive aimed at Donald Trump. The visits are being timed to coincide with the 250th anniversary of the United States of America independence and come on comes as negotiations that is take place between the two countries over a trade deal. So they want to send out the royals to help with a trade deal. Hmm. Good luck with that one. King Charles is expected to travel in April in what would be the first trip to the U.S. by a reigning monarch since Queen Elizabeth hosted George Bush in 2007. Prince William will then head to North America during next summer's World Cup, which is also being hosted in Mexico and Canada. My goodness, it is so dry in here. The King's trip will be the first time he has visited the U.S. since his son, Prince Harry, quit royal duties. Up, there we go. There we go. Had to throw that in there. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Williams Earthshot Prize. Okay. All right. Well, that is a possibility. There's nothing concrete yet that the two of them are absolutely positively going to come to the US, but there seems to be some negotiation and plans. I think William would likely go to anything to do with Independence Day, the 4th of July, and such. I do believe that that would be um, an outing for William. But some other key things in the US, I could see his father participating. So we'll see. But the unfortunate thing is, you know what comes next, and that is repeatedly saying again and again that the king doesn't have time for Harry and Meghan. William is going to snub Harry and Meghan. We are going to be forced, we're going to be inundated with all of these messages um, letting letting the world know that they are snubbing the Sussexes, as though Harry and Meghan ever spent a lot of time there in the first place. I think not. I say no. Let me see here. Andrew girls opt for the firm over mom and dad. Well, guess what? Look who went to the famous Christmas walk today. Um, Beatrice, Eugenie. I don't see the bartender though, but Beatrice and Eugenie is there. Yep. I guess the girls say, you know what? Don't. Okay. Well, anyway, let me go on here. So you can see Malopoli or Marco Polo in the background there. Yeah, he's there, but I don't see the bartender. The bartender, who's married to one of the sisters, is nowhere to be found. So, not sure why he wasn't there, but maybe he had work. Maybe this is a busy season for anyone involved in the spirits business. Moment Prince William spots Diana's biggest superfan in Sandringham crowd and calls out to him by name before introducing him to Charlotte, Louis, and George, the superfan. Now, what was funny is someone who's not familiar with this John Lowry person, they state this guy, that's the one that I met when I went to the wedding back in 2018, when I was in the crowd at the wedding. There he is right there. Prince George spotted, I'm sorry, Prince William spotted Diana's biggest superfan in the crowd of people lined up to greet the royals at Sandringham yesterday. But the prince delighted him further by calling out to the royal, excuse me, fantastic John, what is it, Longray, who's 70. Gosh, I didn't know that by name before introducing him to Charlotte, Louis, and George. Okay, Mr. Lowry, wearing a hat covered in pins of the royal family and bearing presents for William's children, wished the family a Merry Christmas and told Prince George Diana would be proud of you. Now, see, the woman, not the woman, but the reason why a caption I saw on social media said, oh, it was so nice of that lady to, further down the line, someone corrected that person. I knew it right away because he does have that, he has a kind of a high pitched voice. He sounds like a cartoon character. I say, hey, aren't you the super fan or whatever I said? No, I'm a royal reporter. And I'm not a royal reporter. He said, no, I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Yes, yes, I'm a royal supporter. Yes, I'm a royal supporter. He's very short, so he has a very high voice to go with that shortness. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say that, but he looks from behind. It's almost like you're looking at a kid, and then if you tapped him on the shoulder, then that face would just, scare you. But yeah, he's a very little guy. Also, let me tell you, he was super kind to Megan when he first met her. He went to that radio station or wherever the Sussexes went that first engagement before they were married. And he brought her flowers and said some things or whatever. But unfortunately, he tends to believe everything. Take a look here. That is me and him right there. We're by the statue of Victoria at the Windsor Castle. Yeah, we're right on the street there, and that's where I saw him, like right there at that intersection where the statue is. He had been there for days. I mean, just in that same spot. He and a few other people had camped out. So anyway, that is where I met him. Um, but he's a little guy, as you can see. I'm almost like stooped over twice trying to get in the frame with him. But he's nice. He's nice. But like I said, um, wait, do I have that picture? No, I don't. There's a picture of him holding the Daily Mail, looking at the article where it says that Harry and Meghan blindsided the Queen. I hated that because, first of all, it's not true. But because he loves the Royals so much, he will go to whatever lengths it take just to get more information about them, what's coming up, what they're doing, who did they talk to, that kind of thing. So I don't think he means any harm, but yes, he does seem kind of creepy. I will admit that. But he loves the royal family. He goes wherever they go. Yep, he goes wherever they go. Wherever they go, he'll be there. He'll find them. Yes, I'm a royal supporter. Yes, I'm a royal supporter. I'll never forget that voice. I say, hey, aren't you the super fan? Yes, I'm a royal supporter. But his commitment to that family goes all the way back to Princess Diana. He has all kind of collectibles and everything. You see, I'm trying to clean it up for him. I mean, yes, it is a bit creepy. Oh, by the way, um, when he was talking to Kate, he said, Kathy, these flowers. He called Kate Middleton Kathy. I kid you not. He referred to her as Kathy. Now, I'm sure some of y'all have seen that. He literally refers to her as Kathy. And he was outraged because they would not, because Kathy did not take the flowers that he was holding up. He said, Kathy, those are for you. Well, what could I say? Y'all know Kate ain't that sharp. She looked at them flowers and thought, oh, these are beautiful, which is what she said. And then she was about to leave them. So, oh well. Yes, I'm a royal supporter. Yes, I am creepy AF. Okay, so are we going to end with this? Oh, we got this, and then we got something else. Just for fun, just just for fun, I thought I would share with you something that I'm pretty sure a lot of people did not know, um, and that is how car brands got their names. Okay, stay with me. This is interesting. Like right there, Acura, from Latin acutus, which means sharpen, and is the course of the world. What is it? Accurate. Originally pronounced Acura, Acura, Acura. And then there's Audi, reference to the founder August Horch. Well, means listen. Listen in German, and Audi means listen in Latin. So Audi means listen, and BMW stands for Bayer, Bavarian Motor Works. I always refer to it as Bavarian Motor Works, but right here, Bavarian Engine, whatever. But in English, it means Bavarian Motor Works. So I think that's a little typo where it says Bayer Shish, whatever, Motoren. Yeah, okay. But in English, it means Bavarian Motor Works. And then Buick is named after Scottish inventor David Dunbar Buick, who left his plumbing business to found the company. He was a plumber. Acura is only in California uh, and is the U.S. I think is Honda. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, thank you, Lex. Oh, okay. So I remember when like Toyota started with Lexus, right? Or should I say Lexus is like the baby boomer version of the Toyota. So Acura is the grown up version of the Honda, right? That means after people purchased those cars when they were a bargain, when they were more prosperous and older. I saw a thing about this where they said that the Japanese brands they wanted to find something more luxurious for the older adults who had the money to buy something more expensive compared to their, you know, like Toyota Corolla back in the day. Now they have the Lexus. I think that's what they said. Let's see. Oh, CS for Canada, luxury brand Honda. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're on the same track. Thank you for that. Okay. And then there's Dodge, founded by brothers Horace Elgin and John Francis Dodge. They really are the Dodge brothers, former suppliers for the Ford Motor Company. So they were supplying parts for Ford, and then they decided to start their own car brand. And Ferrari, Enzo Ferrari, I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard that one before. His name traces to the Latin word ferrum, which means iron. I didn't know that. Ferrari. And Fiat stands for Fabbrica Italiana Automobili Torino, which means Italian automobile manufactured in Torino. Ah, okay. And then, of course, Ford, founded by Henry Ford, which, by the way, you guys, a lot of Americans believe that Henry Ford invented the automobile. He certainly did not. Henry Ford perfected the what do you call that? The production line. He perfected the manufacturing of automobiles. Whereas before people used to hand build cars in workshops, he's the one who perfected the assembly line, right? Where everyone had one role to play in that one position and they could crank out those cars so fast. So that is what Henry Ford is famous for is the production line, the manufacturing part of automobiles. But yes, there is a Henry Ford. And Ford, of course, the name comes from the word meaning shallow place in the river where you can cross, like Oxford. That means the ox would cross that shallow point of the river, Oxford. Did you guys know that? Yeah, they used to say ford the river. So Oxford, they would cross the oxen at that particular place in the river, Oxford. Lexus is a luxury export for U.S. Lexus. Oh, thank you, Lex. Okay. Cadillac, a homage to Anton de Moth Cadillac, an explorer who founded Detroit. The logo is based on his coat of arms. So, yes, the coat of arms for Cadillac is based on a real family coat of arms. And then Chevrolet, founded in 1911 by Louis Chevrolet, William Durant. The nickname Chevy emerged in 1930. Isn't this interesting? And yes, there is Walter Chrysler. Founded in 1925, Walter Chrysler, his name is German in origin, perhaps related to a word for spinning top. Chrysler. Yeah, the Chrysler. Yeah, Chrysler. And the Citroën, founded in 1919 by Andre Gustave Citroën, a French Freemason. His last name meant lemon. Yeah, like citrus. And shares a root with citrus. And then there's Honda, founded in 1948 by Shoshiro Honda and Takio Fujisawa. In Japanese, Honda means original field. And then there is Hyundai, which is closed on Sunday. Hyundai comes from the Korean word meaning modernity. The H in the logo is tilted to the right to suggest motion, right? Also, the H is supposed to kind of look like two men shaking hands. Did you guys know that? And then, of course, infinity, you can tell that logo looks like a road that just goes on and on forever. Infinity, an alteration of infinity created by a Nissan marketing team in 1987. The logo shows the road going off toward infinity. And Jaguar, starting as SS Cars Limited, but rebranded so they wouldn't be confused with the Nazi, well, I'm sorry, with Nazis. Um, oh, that would be awkward, right? After the animal. Okay. Yeah, that would be awkward, wouldn't it? If you had a car called the SS back in those days. And Jeep, an American military slang coming from the abbreviation GP, which means general purpose. So Jeep means general purpose, GP, general purpose, Jeep for short, a general purpose vehicle. And Kia, a compound word in Korea meaning to rise, from East Asia, describing their goal in the global auto market. Lamborghini, after Ferruccio Lamborghini, who founded the company in 1963, the logo represents his zodiac, the Taurus, the bull, the zodiac sign Taurus. And Lexus, a name modeled for the word luxury that was constructed solely to promote an elegant image. Lexus. And then there is Nissan, a contradiction, I'm sorry, is that, no, contraction of Nihon Sangyo, which means Japan Industries, first abbreviated for use in the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Oh, so that's like one of those stock exchange things. Got it. And Peugeot, after the influential French family that started producing automobiles. Oh, I can make this brighter. Automobiles in 1889 after decades of making other goods. And Renault, the T is silent, Renault. Founded the Renault brothers, 1899, Their name is from Germanic element meaning council or rule, Renault. It's French, Renault. Hmm. Isn't this fun? But you wait, I still got a few more. It is so dry in here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the shower on just to get some humidity in here. There. I'm going to put the shower on just to get some humidity in here. My lips are dry. My throat is dry. There. That should help. That should help. Okay. Let me see. What did I leave off? Subaru, a Japanese word for unite, alluding to the joining of the five companies. It also refers to the constellation in their logo, Subaru. I've always liked Subarus. They always seemed a little kitschy. Okay, is this the last one? Yeah, this is the last one. Lincoln, named in honor of President Abraham Lincoln by founder Henry Leland. The logo is a stylized star. So the Lincoln, that is not a cross, that is a star. It is a 4-point star. It is not a cross. Some of the older Lincoln models, the star was more squared, if you know what I mean. It wasn't so vertical. It was more of a inside of a square, but they changed it. By the way, Henry Leland, he used to work for Cadillac. Leland helped to make Cadillac a luxury car. And either he went from Lincoln to Cadillac or Cadillac to Lincoln. Um, but yeah, and Lincoln, they don't have the date here, but I know that it was 1922 when Lincoln's first came around because in 2022, that's when they had the anniversary edition of the Lincoln Continental. And then, of course, there's Mazda, named after Ahura Mazda, a what is that? Zoroastrian deity. It also sounds similar to the former name Jijuro Matsuda. Well, okay, if you say so. And then, of course, Mercedes. Who doesn't love Mercedes with their 3-point star? Mercedes, by the way, Mercedes has the 3-point star. Lincoln has the 4-point star. And Daimler Chrysler has a 5-point star, even though they rarely use it anymore. But Chrysler, they use the 5-point star. Anyway, Mercedes, after Mercedes Jelinek, the daughter of a rich Austrian diplomat who commissioned the cars for racing. And of course, there is Mitsubishi, means 3 diamonds in Japanese. Mitsubishi means 3 diamonds. Both the name and the company logo are from founder Iwasaki Yaturo's family crest. Okay. All right. Next is Suzuki, founded as a loom company by Michio Suzuki in 1909. The surname means bell tree. Bell tree, Suzuki in Japanese means bell tree. And then there's Tesla. That's the easy one. Named after the Serbian American electrical engineer Nikolai Tesla, in reference to a type of car the company produces. Tesla was trying to find new uses for electricity, and it just makes sense that naming a car. I wonder if his family gets any money for that. And then there's Toyota, founded by the Toyota family, changed to Toyota because that only took 8 brush strokes, a lucky number in Japan. So instead of saying Toyota, they changed the spelling so eh, when they used those character letters, they can only had to use 8 strokes of the brush. That was smart, right? And lastly, the company that Kate Middleton used to work for, actually, when the executives would go out on the yacht. Remember when Kate used to work on a yacht? Well, one of the big companies that she served on the yacht was Volkswagen, formed as a state automobile company by the Nazis in 1937 and given the name People's Car. VW is from 1958. So Volkswagen means the people's car. No, I guess Volvo is missing. I'm sorry. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see what some of these guys look like, there's Henry Ford, Louis Chevrolet, Henry Leland. Oh, see, Henry Leland Cadillac, and John and Horace Dodge, David Dunbar Buick, Walter Chrysler, Ramsey E. Olds, as in Oldsmobile, GMC, William C. Durant, and Carl Probst, Jeep. Well, you know who else is missing? Yeah, but there's a lot of cars that are missing, to be honest with you, because Cord, Duesenberg, Nash, Tucker. Um, I mean, gosh, there's a lot of cars that's missing. A lot of them. But anyway, that's just a quick overview of some of those big companies. Interesting, huh? Now, we're going to end tonight with one more thing that I thought was fascinating. Check out that right there. I crossed the country to find the woman who raised me. This is such a sweet story. Um, uh-oh. What happened to the caption? Oh, Lord, I done lost the caption. Hold on. Let me find it. How in the world did I do that? Well, clearly that is a mistake. Okay, here it is right here. Who are you? Who are you? The woman asked me. I told her my name. I told her I was the kid she carried to daycare when my parents worked double shifts. Her eyes changed fast. Marcus? She said. I nodded. I started searching for her after my dad got sick last year. I started searching for her after my dad got sick last year. He kept asking if I remembered the woman who held our family together when money was tight. That pushed me. I realized I never thanked her. So I pulled old school papers, church lists, and any number I could find. One woman finally recognized the name Linda Brooks. She said Miss Linda was still in the same neighborhood, still helping neighbors even with her bad knees. I got in my car the next morning and drove across the country. When she hugged me on that porch, it felt like I fixed a missing piece of my life. Ever wondered who helped shape your life without you knowing? Discover the unexpected reunion that changed everything. So, yeah, I thought that was a very sweet story. I guess there's more to it here. I see that there's a link for it. I'll see if I can find the link to that story. But yeah, I thought that was very sweet. Very, very sweet. I mean, when you look at that, the first thing you think of is little Archie being carried around by his nanny. Remember that? That's what it reminds me of is little Archie being carried around by his nanny. Oh well. Anyway, you guys, I am done for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. I do hope everyone is having a great holiday season and looking forward to the new year. Um, hope you got your New Year's resolutions in order. Don't forget, we will be here on New Year's Eve, as always. We will be here to ring in the new year. Um, oh, okay. I think I found the article. Reunion with the woman who held my family together, a journey of gratitude. I'm going to put that link at the top of the chat if I can. Give me a second to try to work this out. Again, thank you for joining us here on Royal Sussex. Okay, yes, it is a much longer article. So I am going to post that link at the top of the chat. I haven't had a chance to look at this article myself, so I will be keen to check it out myself. Wow. Um, oh, do I have? Okay. I think I had two things open here. Okay, so here goes. That is the link. Let me check it to make sure that it is valid because that looks like a lot, right? Oh, okay. You know what? This is one of those. Oh, I don't like. I don't like these kind of articles. It is one of like those news. Ugh, anyway, it's one of those ones that got all those weird, creepy looking ads and everything. So I tell you what, I'm not going to pin it to the top of the chat. You can just work it out from there. Anyway, interesting story though. I'll try to see if I can expand on the longer version of it myself, and I'll share that with you another time. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you all very much for being here. It has been a pleasure as per usual. And I will see you all next time. Wow, 1 hour, 41 minutes. Not bad. Oh, thank you so much, Ingrid Soares. What a sweet picture. I love those pictures, though. I'm going to have to do some research and see if I can find a better article than that one. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. My voice is so weird tonight. I think because it's just so dry in here. I literally got the shower running just to get some humidity in here. Hot, of course. Oh, yes, it's starting to steam up in here too. Okay, love you guys. I'll see you all next time.